Coast to Coast Pick 5. $1 minimum. Player-friendly 15% takeout. Coast to Coast Pick 5. Weekends beginning January 7th.
Time to talk Sunday's Coast to Coast Pick 5. Jeremy Plonk from First Bet, joined by Brian Nadeau at Gulfstream Park. Brian, races 5, 8, and 9, the first three in the sequence for the Coast to Coast Pick 5, all from your backyard at Gulfstream Park. We'll have Jeff Siegel along in just a moment. Let's talk about split divisions of a turf maiden special weight beginning in race number 5.
Yeah, tough race, and I think it's a race you might want to spread a little bit. Elysian Field on top for me, off a private purchase, ran really, really well on debut at Saratoga. Has been freshened a little bit. Certainly the 8 Breath Away with a big-time pedigree in here. First timer for Christophe Clement, and then I'm going to use the 1 as well. Sassiness is down inside for Todd Pletcher on debut. This is a half to Up with the Birds, a Grade 1 winner, earned almost $2 million on the turf, JP. There's a lot of ways to go. Mystify had a nightmare trip last time. I think he's a real price contender. So the 6 as well, Type C. So it's a spread race for me.
All right, we'll spread our wings in race number 5. To the 8th we go. It's the second division of this 3-year-old filly maiden special weight. Again, 7.5 on the turf. Bo Derrick's in here. How can you pick against Bo Derrick?
Yeah, really. I do feel like she's interesting. I went with the 2, Lorana, down inside or towards the inside. Post is big in these 7.5 furlong races. A firster for Christophe Clement. That's a half to Epping Forest, who Christophe trained. She was predominantly a turf sprinter, but I think by Blaine, maybe it's in her pedigree to get 2 turns. Moral Turpitude, certainly with a big turf debut after a no-show on the dirt at Keeneland. And you mentioned Bo Derrick. I'm not going to toss her with this pedigree. You know, it's the Dam, although she was on race, was a half to Materiality, won the Florida Derby, as well as My Miss Sophia, who oozed class. So I think Bo Derrick's eligible to run a lot better today.
You mentioned Moral Turpitude in there. I want to note, last time out ran against Erna, who came back on Saturday to run in the Ginger Brew Stakes. So check the results of Saturday's Ginger Brew. Could give you a little feeling how Erna does in that. Could be a plus or minus for Moral Turpitude in race number 8. To the 9th we go at Gulfstream, Brian, and this is the Road to the Florida Derby. It's a 1-mile maiden or 1-mile allowance race, first level allowance on the main track here for 3-year-olds. It's similar to the Mucho Macho Man, which we saw last week, but this is an allowance company. Any stars of tomorrow in here?
Well, quite possibly, and I feel like this is a better race than the Mucho Macho Man. I'm sure the horses that are in here are aiming for the Holy Bull in 27 days' time. You know, Litigate was so good on debut for Todd Pletcher and showed a little bit of a rating gear. And to me, I think that's beneficial because his stablemate, Rudder's Men, was bet down to 55 cents on the dollar in a 9-horse field on debut, JP. That's wild. And he ran off the screen, but there's other speed to his inside, to his outside as well. So I give the slight edge to Litigate, and I will mention Cyclone Mischief too. I mean, he comes out of the Jockey Club at Churchill in that grade too. So he seems to have some class, and he's got an experience edge as well.
These 3-year-old 1-turn mile races and allowance company at Gulfstream over the years, they have been Todd Pletcher country, and he's got 2 shots in there. Good luck to you, Brian. Coming up next, we'll have Jeff Siegel with a look at the West Coast races. Fans, don't forget, with First Bet and Express Bet, you get a $10 free wager on the Coast to Coast Pick 5 each weekend. So take advantage of that when you play on the ADW. Jeff Siegel is in now to run the anchor leg on Sunday. The first 3 were from Gulfstream. Final 2, races 5 and races 7 for the Coast to Coast Pick 5 come from Santa Anita, and Jeff will give us his expertise. We are on the turf. Claimers going 1 mile and an 1/8, unique trip and class here in race number 5.
Actually, now owners of 2 race, so it makes it even tougher. And maybe not so hard, though, for Flint Stroll. He's my top horse. Flint Stroll, trained now and owned also by Phil D'Amato. He had an owner on this horse last time out. Now it's Phil. And I think that maybe explains why he's dropping from starter 50 down to 32,000. Probably bought the owner out and probably didn't give a lot of money for him. But I think in this level, he's properly spotted. He's proven over the course he can get the mile and eighth. He's got Pratt. He's got enough tactical speed. I like Flint Stroll pretty strongly here. You can toss in number one, Arrest, as well. He's got some form, 2 races back over the course is pretty good. And he's got that good inside draw. He'll get a good trip. But for me, it's 7/1 with Flint Stroll, the main play.
Race number 7, a downhill turf sprint allowance. It's the final leg of the Coast to Coast Pick 5. I know you're 3 deep in here. Tell us who.
Yeah, this tough race because you got some question marks here. You got Excelia, number 3. Interesting play here. Again, Phil D'Amato. She is shortening up. She's got that route to sprint angle that I really like, and she was a 5-furlong sprinter overseas. This is what she wants to do. She wants to sprint. Speed and fade in the Surfer Girl, but this is an easier spot. Look for her to sit back and make a run. Princess Patina also dropping back from a mile to a sprint. I think she'll be running on light. Don't like the rail, but she will be dangerous in the final furlong. And then the Stranger Danger from Ireland, actually. She's a French-bred named Araniti, trained by Richard Mandela. Her form's not bad. She can act with these. So I'm going 3 deep. 3, 1, and 7 on my ticket.
Of course, our podcasts are pre-recorded, so be sure to check out the official scratches and changes at the websites for Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita, as well as on the simulcast feeds. Good luck, everybody.